So, the lesson of this movie: do not kill Keanu Reeves' dog, because he will come and he will hunt you down and he will kill you. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. Now today I'm going to be talking about the movie John Wick. This is a movie starring Keanu Reeves, and he is a badass in this movie. The main plot of the movie is that John Wick is an ex-contract assassin slash hitman person, and he lived this lifestyle for a very long time, and then he retired because he met his wife. And then very early into the film, his wife ends up dying, and events take place. If you've seen the trailer, you know generally what happens. He goes back into the job to kill a certain individual. So that's the main premise of this movie, without spoiling anything. Keanu Reeves, like I said, is the main star of this film. He plays John Wick, and John Wick is a very big badass in this film. He's awesome. He's a great action hero. He just kicks all sorts of ass. You can tell that he knows what he is doing in this role. And the main thing about his character, which really intrigued me, is that it's not just, oh, you did this one thing to me and then I'm going to go kill you. There's a lot of really good character motivation, because it's not just, I'm going to go and kill these people for the sake of killing these people. There are good reasons behind why he does it, and I think that a lot of the audience, including myself, can relate to it and are like, if we had these types of abilities and things, we would probably do the same thing that you're doing. Willem Dafoe is also in this film. He plays Marcus, who is John Wick's former friend and associate, and he is someone who I was not expecting at all to be in this movie, and because he was never featured in a trailer that I saw. So he was a huge surprise when I saw him first show up in the movie, and he actually has a decently big role. He's more or less sub-character, but he is involved enough in the movie. He's also kind of a hitman slash assassin-y person like John Wick, and so his character is very interesting as well. Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones, he is in this movie as Yusuf. He is a guy who pisses off John Wick. You do not want to piss off John Wick. He does this thing at the beginning of the movie which just, like I said, pisses off John Wick to no end. And so he is the main target of John Wick's anger for about 2/3 of this movie. And so it's really interesting to see him when he realizes who John Wick is and this person that he has pissed off. You just see his face just stop smiling, and it's just a really cool thing. And then Michael Nyqvist is the main villain of this film, and he does a really, really good job with it. He starts out as kind of a reluctant villain. He's dragged into the situation because of what his son did, and so he just kind of has to go along with it and deal with the consequences of his son's actions. And so I found his character really, really interesting, because you can tell at the beginning he just doesn't want to deal with this. He's just doing all this stuff because he basically has no other choice. It's either do this or I'm just going to get killed. And so I found his character to be very interesting as a villain. John Wick and Vigo, you can tell these people have some sort of history. I think John Wick said that he has worked for Vigo before. They are associates of one another, and so being dragged back into that world is very interesting because we know a little bit of their backstory. The movie is also a lot funnier than I was expecting it to be in this movie. It's not just an outright comedy, but there are splashes of humor throughout this film which really kind of add to it and lighten the mood in an otherwise really serious scene, or just an overall serious action film. And I thought that was kind of a nice relief in the film when it did that. The introduction for this movie is also really, really neat because it utilizes flashbacks to kind of tell what happens to John Wick's wife, and we get to kind of see that right off the bat. There are no words spoken, and we see what occurs at the very beginning of this movie, and we also get a glimpse at the end of the movie in the very first scene of the film, and I thought that was a really interesting way to show us where we're going to be going right at the beginning of the film. The action scenes also work really, really well. They're really well choreographed, and they look really, really nice. My only real issue with some of them is that when a character gets shot in the head, some of the blood splatters look really like either CGI or just kind of fake, and so that kind of bugged me a little bit, just in the spots where I could catch it. Otherwise, the action scenes look really, really good, and I enjoyed watching them for what they were. And lastly, the movie is just really well paced. It's about 2 hours long, and it never feels like it's slowing down. It kept me interested in the plot the whole time, had a neat kind of plot twist type of thing towards the end, which I really enjoyed. My only other issue with the movie is the last 2 minutes of it, and if you've seen the movie, you might understand why. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the last 2 minutes kind of just seem to go against everything that the rest of the movie was doing. It just kind of had a different feel to it, and it just didn't really make sense with the rest of the film itself. So that's my only real issue, and endings are always a little bit iffy for me because if they don't really make sense, they're kind of hard to walk out of the film with an overall good impression when it doesn't end as well as it could. But overall, I really did enjoy John Wick. I thought Keanu Reeves did a fantastic job in the role as well as all the other actors in this film. I thought it was really enjoyable, good action scenes, and it's just a really fun film to go see. If you are into action movies or you like Keanu Reeves, who never seems to age, you'll definitely enjoy this film. But let me know what you guys thought of John Wick down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Also, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.